Let's just start a podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 1 of my Cucurucho Stuck in His Office podcast. This is the first official episode, and we'll make as many of these until we get back. So, what's new on the island? So black concrete has started appearing around the island, and there is we know nothing about it. And maybe it's a rift in space-time. Crazy, eh? Also, like, the eggs, they're sending messages through the black concrete. Hey, ripping space-time. Pretty fancy. This has been such a great installment of the Cucurucho Office saga. Catch us next week with episode 2. Oh, wouldn't you look at that? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Sorry for that interruption. Foolish appears to be snitching somewhere in the world. So, I appreciate you guys tuning into episode 2 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. It is a pleasure to have you with us. Today we're going to be talking about how they got water. How they got water inside of the office building. Yeah, and that's crazy. So... I guess I've actually just got a prison of my own that I have no way of getting at. W podcast. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, what is with this federation, eh? Let's talk about topical podcast things. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not sure that the federation is good. Boom. That was a spoiler alert. They're actually incredibly bad. But that's going to be about it for episode 2 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Oh my gosh, long time no see. We're now on episode 3 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the eggs. Where did they go? Will we ever find them? So, I've got a feeling that... they're dead. But that's a bit of a hot take. But so, and as for those of you that don't me as one of the hosts of the podcast, is that Foolish, can you stop snitching while I'm telling my podcast? Yeah, so for those of you that don't realize, yeah, I am actually a godfather to 2 of the eggs. Not a real father. I have no responsibility, but I just babysit and shit. And I'm hoping that they're not dead. But you know, you never know these days. Crazy days. So yeah, I've got a feeling the eggs' disappearance. So they ran away. There's a story about some eggs dying in a maze, but I don't think they were out. Which means that somewhere on the island is that there's 2 undiscovered eggs, which is kind of crazy. You never know. Maybe I'll get an egg of my own. Probably not. Not responsible enough to be an egg owner, but we never know. Might happen. But that's going to be about it for episode 3 of the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of the podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about out of space and how I want to be in any space but this space. Can Foolish stop taking photos for like 3 seconds? Foolish! Oh my gosh. So, thank you for the 5 gifted. So, episode 4 is coming out strong. Episode 4 already? Yeah, I keep you boys fucking fed. Episode 4, what do we want to talk about in episode 4? Well, have I got news for you. I swear to God, if Cucurucho's taking photos of me, I'm gonna lose it. Maybe this is just my unique punishment that the Fed has made for me. Maybe I'm just destined to sit on this fucking bench forever. That's alright. You know what? Fuck it. Good enough for me. I deserved it. I had this shit coming. So, welcome back, everyone, to episode 5 of the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the consequences of our own actions. So, for those of you that know me, I've been playing a little bit of fuck around and find out for the last few days, actually. And, motherfucker, dude. Well, at least they're enjoying the podcast. So, for those of you that don't know, I've been playing a little episode of Fuck Around and Find Out these last few days, and today I thought we'd take a little bit of time to talk about the consequences of my own actions. So it turns out, if you break enough rules, that actually you do get in trouble. That is true. And I have been getting mightily in trouble, and now, I guess I'm just I guess for the next 96 hours, we're just going to be doing 96-hour Cucurucho office tour. Cucurucho, if you're out there, why don't you come join me as a featured guest on the podcast, you know? Just out of law, you know? Just take a seat. No law here, you know, Cucurucho. Just take a seat next to me and we can just do a little collab episode podcast while we're both trapped here. I know how much you love being a news anchor. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Cucurucho. Awesome. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 6 of the podcast featuring Cucurucho in the form of fireworks. So, Cucurucho, the people have burning questions. They want to know, how do you get your skin that ghost-like? Can I get a yes or no? Do you use fake tan? 2 for yes, 1 for no. He uses fake tan, everybody! And that's how Cucurucho keeps his skin so ghost-like. Now, another question from the audience, Cucurucho. Are you affiliated with Casper the Friendly Ghost? Alright, he did not like that one. Let me tell you that much, folks. He was not a fan of Casper's early work. Wow. Either that or he just doesn't know who Casper the Friendly Ghost is. That's okay. That's okay. Is Phil coming to fucking save my ass? He says, we are coming, Toby. I'm like, alright. But that's about all the time we have for this episode 6 of the podcast, featuring Cucurucho. Join us next week. Yo, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Join us next week, where we're going to be diving into the heat depth of the universe. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. It is a pleasure to have you here. Today, we're going to change things up a bit. We're going to sit on a different bench. Wouldn't you look at that? Ain't say I never did anything for you, loyal viewers. Ain't say I never did anything for you. Boom, when you look at that, we have changed the script. So, this episode of the podcast, we have a bit of a featured guest. His name is, he's a little bit shy, he doesn't say very many words, but his name is Qsmp. Oh, Qsmp, it's a pleasure to, holy shit! 100 gifted subs. Thank you so much for the 100 gifted, Nick. Sorry, on to my... So, Qsmp, it's a pleasure to have you here with us on the podcast. What do you do? Right. Yeah. Well, you know, Qsmp, ketamine's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But if you recommend it, maybe I'll have to give it a go. So, I haven't seen you on the server much recently. Do you care to give any insight to the Cucurucho Office podcast about whereabouts you've been? Oh, you've been at Revenge, have you? Oh, yes. Oh, you're a big fan of Revenge. Yes. I too love that they sell hot dogs on the roof. Yeah. Yeah, me and Tom Simons watched people do poppers off of the balcony railing. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Oh, you're familiar with them too? Oh, good. You've got such a diverse, you know, knowledge of the drug industry, and I just love that about you. Well, that's going to be about time for episode 7 of the podcast. Let's go back to our original casting seat. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed episode 7 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Join us next week for episode 8. Okay, we're actually going on a 1-week break of the podcast, so just give me like 2 seconds. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Oh, and I'm joined today by a special guest. It's Cucurucho himself in the form of fireworks that don't explode. Heaven forbid he ever finds fireworks that do explode. We will be in deep shit then. So, how are you doing on this fine day, Cucurucho? Can I get 1 for good, 2 for bad? He's doing some other third thing. He's doing mid. That just means he's doing mid. I'm the great firework interpreter. I studied it at Yale and Harvard and Florida. I can't remember. Yeah, that means that he's running with excitement. Yeah, that's what that meant. Our guest is sure running with excitement. So, I'm so pleased to have you guys back for episode 8 of the podcast. Today, not only are we joined by the beloved Qsmp admins, we're also joined by an 8-pack. Maybe even a 9-pack. I count 9 abs there. I'm dyslexic. That doesn't actually affect maths, but I miscount. There's 9 abs. It's a 9-pack. Today we're joined by none other than the magical admins of the Qsmp and the 9-pack. Wait, I hear him. Where is he?
We are here, Tubbo.
Where?
On top of you.
Okay. Well, enjoy the This episode of the podcast is brought to you by a live studio audience. Pierre, how are you doing? It's wonderful for you to feature on episode 8 of the podcast. Pleasure to have you. So, I heard you're a bit of a French diva.
What?
And just like that, that's how he gets them all. He flirts his way to the top, baby. Well, thank you, Pierre. We're just about out of time for episode 8 of the podcast. Join us next week for episode 9. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 9 of the podcast. It is a pleasure to have you. It is a wonderful, wonderful day. Episode 9, let me tell you, we got a doozy one for today. Today, we're going to be talking about how fragile and delicate life is. So, when I wake up every day, I think to myself, man, how can I best spend my life, you know? And I wake up and I'm like, wow, the Cucurucho office, just the white walls give me life, you know? It gives me life. And you see, and the firework mascot of the podcast that is featuring every episode agrees. So the Cucurucho office, it's a really magical place. Like, they've never tortured children in here. And that's just a legal disclaimer, because obviously they have. Trollolol. So episode 9 is a bit of a doozy one for you. So let's talk about how to live a fulfilling life. So you have to stop setting expectations for yourself, you know? The reason why you're feeling unfulfilled is because of these unrealistic expectations you set. It's about making new disciplines, you know? It's about forming good, healthy habits. And that's about it for episode. Holy fucking shit, everyone and their mother and their distant cousins and their sister twice removed is fucking teleporting to me right now. Got a whole rescue party. I'm important. Oh, thank you, Mr. Fireworks. Thank you. Or Miss Fireworks. Or I don't know. Non-binary monarch fireworks. All right, welcome back to episode 10 of the podcast. It is a very special episode today because I think today is finally the day that I'm going. What is MX? Why are you all saying MX? Welcome back to episode 10 of the podcast. Welcome back to episode... No mamas. MX is non-binary. Well, you learn something new every day. Boys and girls and non-binaries. Welcome back to episode 10 of the podcast. Today is a very special day. Episode 10 is probably where my friends are going to rescue me, finally. It's about time they fucking pulled their damn weight and rescued my ass. Oh, a 12's done something really fucking stupid. A 12 has fucked around and he has found out. That is for sure. A 12, welcome to episode 10 of the podcast. Any words you'd like to say?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my French king? My French stallion?
I'm good, man.
I'm good. So all I need is a little bit of XP to get out of this place.
Do you have?
Nope. Your efforts are futile, and that's about time for this episode of the podcast. Tune in next week for episode 11.
Come closer to me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 11 of the podcast. We thought last week that my friends were going to save me, but it's too bad that they have failed. Don't call me a fucking dumb bitch, you bastard!
Wait, I could probably make it.
It's not working. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 11 of the podcast. Today, my friends will save me. It's been 11 episodes of the Office podcast. Oh, hello, Atwell.
Hello.
Please take a seat. Join me on my podcast.
Hello, how are you, bro?
Hello, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. Today, we have special guest Atoile who is joining us, and we're going to be diving in to what makes life special. Atoile, what really gets you going? What keeps your ticker ticking?
For breathing.
Breathing. He loves breathing. Breathing gives his life meaning. So, what are your thoughts on the Federation, Etoile, as our episode 12 special guest while we wait for our dumbass friends to save us?
I don't understand why they have so much money and they are so bad.
Exactly.
It reminds me like some football team.
Exactly. It's just like Manchester United. Yes. That is a real based answer. Where does the Federation get their money? We will be diving deeper into that in the next episode. Next week, see you for episode 13. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 13 of the podcast. It is a pleasure. Again, Etoile is joining us as a repeated guest, and we're going to be diving into the finance of the Federation. Etoile, what do you think about debt-based economy?
I think economy is cool when you have money.
Okay, that's so true. Capitalism's based as long as you've got money. Etoile, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Your insights are next level.
Bagheera, t'es là? Ah oui, vous êtes là?
Oh my gosh, tune in next week for an exciting development. Everyone on the bench. On the bench, everyone. Please, everyone on the bench. Everyone on the bench. Bench up. Episode 14 is about to start. Get on the bench. Get on the bench. Episode 14 is about to start. All right, well, Bagheera, budge over a seat so we don't have awkward framing.
What?
Move over a seat.
Oh. Wait.
You can do this. I believe in you, Queen. Wonderful.
Don't do it, IPR. You are going to be tipped.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the podcast. A full fortnight worth of episodes for you, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am joined by special guest Federation worker Fit MC and notable goat Bagheera Jones. Today, we're going to be diving into all things Qsmp, Federation, and janitoring. Tune in after this break. See you in 5. All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 14, a very special long episode. We now have adverts. We've got advertising. So, let's start off with you, Fit. Oh,
I'm getting my pen!
protesters appear to have broken into the podcast studio. This is just like when they stormed the Capitol, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I'm sick of them putting chemicals in the water. They're turning the Qsmp members gay. This is crazy, man. Wow.
Guys!
Yeah, what's
There is
up?
a fucking command block here.
Yeah, I know. It's used to spawn in books. There's also one at Lucky Ducks.
Oh.
Well, I just did a full 14 episodes of a podcast while I waited for you guys to save me.
Wait, why there's photos about Hank from Breaking Bad in this?
Oh, that was Pierre.
Yeah, it was.
There's also
before, yeah.
Kameto. He's over here. I did an episode of the podcast with him. He told me about
Oh
ketamine.
yeah, Kameto's a good guy.
Yeah. Oh.
The legend,
The legend Kameto. He taught me all about ket.
Oh, that photo of Quackity, I know that
Guys, can everyone please sit down for episode 15 of the podcast?
Yes,
It's about to
sure,
start.
sure.
Everyone please get in a diamond shape behind me for episode 15. Ow, my feelings. My podcast, please, guys. Guys, everyone please stand behind me. I'm going to interview you one by one for podcast episode 15, please.
Perfect, yeah.
We need
Guys.
to bring all the others, right?
I'm there.
Well, they'll be here for episode 16. Well, Bagheera, you've never let me down, but the rest of these fake motherfuckers have always let me down. And you, Mouse, you've never let me down.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, I was like, what fake? What?
No, you've never let me down. You slay. You guys never let me down. All these other
You know
fake
what? You
motherfuckers let me
slay.
down.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, guys. Well,
We still can.
I guess that's kind of karma.
Estão aqui do lado.
Maybe we can kill you.
I would not like that very much, actually.
Oh, no, yeah, you're gonna lose your stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose. Also, I'm gonna lose loyalty from my podcast listeners. We've just got rated 5 stars on
yeah.
Apple Music.
Oh, it would add some drama.
No, the podcast doesn't need drama. We already have multiple love triangles.
Prepare it.
Oh, tell me.
I mean, Kameto and the 9-pack have really been hitting it off recently.
Oh,
But
yeah,
Hank,
I can picture that.
but Walter from Breaking Bad, or Hank, I don't know which one it is.
With Breaking Bad, yeah.
Hank from Breaking Bad has been jealous of the 9-pack, so Kameto's gonna have to back up.
Stop.
Wait, I'm trying.
And what about
Yeah, it's a command block. Don't.
Quackity
Yeah,
with the
that's why
code?
I'm trying. It looks interesting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 15 of the podcast. It is a pleasure for you to join us. Today, we are joined by none other than Bagheera and the President.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. President, take a seat.
Planta bananeira.
Well, I'm still there.
Well, the President fucking dono walled my ass.
Oh, I know where it's.
So, Bagheera, it's just you and me. So, Bagheera, what fills your life with joy?
Yeah, you think?
Oh God.
Yes, we are super.
So true.
no.
Yeah, also fills my life with joy. Episode 15 surely is a doozy. Yeah. So, have you ever been on a podcast before? Have you ever been interviewed on a podcast? No, this is your first time? Oh, it's a pleasure to have you for episode 15 of the Cucurucho Office podcast. I do have to say that it's so wonderful to have a real guest and not my own thoughts and the picture of Kometo floating with the 9-pack. So I've got to just, we're having some audience participation that was not invited. Phil, if you could shut up, it would be appreciated.
Excuse me, we're trying to save your ass.
Yeah, well, you're doing a pretty shit job. It's been 15 fucking episodes.
Listen.
Since 16.
It's been, oh fuck, this is episode 16. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, Phil, please. Well, that's all about what we have time for episode 16.
okay,
Join
I've
us
got
next
some
week for
XP,
episode.
I've got some XP
Oh yeah,
for you,
try
mate.
throw those bottles, man. See how that turns out.
No. So what I'm gonna do? Can you give me like a backpack? Can you like?
You can't drop items here. It's fucking
that's
Jova,
the
man.
problem. That's why
Fuck.
I cannot.
You'll get me out of here one day. Phil, please join me for a podcast episode, please.
I got an idea. You can, okay, put it in a container. Put it in a container and then take it
Thank
out
you,
of the
Mr.
Can't place
Admin.
down a container. Wait, guys,
No,
please
there's
join me for
containers in
episode
the office.
17 of my podcast.
Shut the fuck up, Tubbo!
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
containers in the
okay.
offices.
Right, so just say that you rated
got
1
you.
star. I get it. You rated 1 star. It's fine.
Chest.
This
There
chest
should be
is in Office 01. God, you guys don't even know this place.